So now I am going to begin chapter 12, radioactivity. So radioactivity was discovered by Henry Becquerel in 1896. All of you open your book also. It's clear. So it was discovered by Henry Becquerel in 1896 when he was doing some experiment with uranium and photographic plate. Uranium and there was photographic plate also. What is photographic plate? So it is just like the X-ray plate. अगर किसी ने X-rays की फिल्म देखी हो, so just like the X-ray plate. Over that X-ray plate there is the coating of some chemical material. X-ray की plate क्या होती है? प्लास्टिक की होती है. And over that plastic plate there is some coating of chemicals. When light will fall upon those chemicals, what will happen? It get exposed. It is getting exposed. In X-rays, what happens? X-rays are exposing to the photographic plate. So Henry Becquerel was doing some experiment. In that experiment, there was some uranium salt and photographic plate. So he found that the photographic plate got exposed. फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट क्या है? जब उन्होंने उसको क्लोज पैकेट से फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट लाइट से एक्सपोज ना होने पाए, इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन से एक्सपोज ना होने पाए, इट इज कवर्ड विद द ब्लैक पेपर. कवर्ड विद ब्लैक पेपर कि उसमें कोई अनड्यू एक्सपोजर ना हो, तो उसको ब्लैक पेपर से कवर किया जाता है. So, but he found that photographic plate was covered with the black paper, but even after that, it was exposed. So from there, he had guessed that there are some radiations which are emitted by uranium, which are exposing to the photographic plate. वहां से उन्होंने गेस किया कि यूरेनियम है, जिससे क्या है, कुछ इनविजिबल रेडिएशन इमिट हो रहे हैं, और वो इनविजिबल रेडिएशंस फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट को एक्सपोज कर रहे हैं, मतलब उसके केमिकल से रिएक्ट कर जा रहे हैं. उसका केमिकल फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट पर जो केमिकल्स लगा रहता है वो तभी रिएक्ट करेगा, वो रेडिएशन से ही रिएक्ट कर सकता है. रेडिएशन से रिएक्ट करेगा तो वो एक्सपोज हो जाएगा. So he found that photographic plate was exposed when it is placed along with the uranium, but when both are separated, then there is no exposure in the photographic plate. So from there he had concluded there are some invisible radiations are emitted by the uranium which are capable to expose the photographic plate. He named these radiations as the Becquerel rays. He named these radiations as the Becquerel rays. Exact spelling you can see from the Becquerel rays. And this phenomena was named as the radioactivity. So what is radioactivity? It is the phenomena of emission of invisible radiations from certain substances which are capable to expose the photographic plate. What is radioactivity? It is the phenomena of emission of some invisible radiations by certain substances such that these radiations are capable to expose the photographic plate. He named this phenomena as the radioactivity and the rays as the Becquerel rays, which were later named as the radioactive rays. Radioactive rays. And the first radioactive substance was uranium. Afterwards, there was some more natural radioactive elements. So what is radioactivity? It is the phenomena of emission of some invisible radiations. Some invisible radiations which are capable to expose the photographic plate. To expose the photographic plate. These invisible radiations were named as the radioactive rays. Now, natural radioactive elements. So, what are the natural radioactive elements? Natural radioactive elements means in which the radioactivity is existing from their birth. Radioactive elements. So first natural radioactive element was uranium, because this phenomena was discovered along with the uranium. But later various other elements have been found which were showing the same property. So this is what are the others: thorium, polonium, actinium, radium. These are the natural radioactive elements which are showing the property of radioactivity from their birth. It has been found that in radioactive elements, the ratio of neutron upon proton, means number of neutron upon number of proton, it is always greater than 1. I am taking one example: 92U238. This is the uranium. Now here 92 is its atomic number, that is the proton number. Protons are 92 and 238 is its mass number. So there will be how many neutrons? 238 minus 92. So if you find out, it will be perhaps 146. If you find out N upon P ratio, so in every radioactive element, N upon P ratio is much more greater than 1. It is greater than 1. It's clear. So this is the one condition for the radioactive elements, that N upon P should be greater than 1. Now later on, various experiments have been done over the radioactivity, and it was found that radioactivity is a nuclear phenomena. Radioactivity is a nuclear phenomena. Now, what is its meaning? It means these radiations, radioactive radiations, these are emitted from inside of the nucleus. They are coming out of the nucleus. This is not due to the orbital electrons, because if you see the composition of an atom, then in an atom there is a nucleus which is consisting neutron and proton. Proton is positively charged, neutron is neutral, and then there are some orbits around the nucleus which we call the cells, K cell, L cell, and here electrons are moving in these cells. It's clear. So it was found that this radioactivity, it is due to the nucleus. These radiations are coming out from the nucleus. Any chemical change don't affect to the radioactivity. It don't affect to the activity of the radioactive element. So from there it was concluded that radioactivity is a nuclear phenomena. Means if you take uranium and some salt of uranium, you will find that there will be no change in their radioactivity. Their activity will remain same. उनकी ये प्रॉपर्टी सेम बनी रहेगी, चाहे हम यूरेनियम ले या यूरेनियम का ऑक्साइड ले लें या यूरेनियम का क्लोराइड ले लें, it will remain same. It is clear. So it is a nuclear phenomena which is not affected by the orbital electron. If there is any chemical change, because chemical change is concerned with the outermost electron, with the valence shell electrons. So if there is any chemical change, there will be no change in the radioactivity. It will remain unaffected. Later on, some more experiments have been conducted, and it was found that the heating, freezing action of strong electric and magnetic field, these also don't affect to the radioactivity. So from there, it was concluded that it is a nuclear phenomena. तो हमको ये याद रखना है कि रेडियो एक्टिविटी में जो रेडिएशंस आ रहे हैं वो कहां से आ रहे हैं? They are coming from the nucleus. They have no concern with the orbital electrons. Any freezing, heating, strong electric and magnetic field or any chemical change, they will not affect to the property of the radioactivity. Now later on, some experiment was done by the Rutherford, that what type of radiations are given by the radioactive substance. And for this, he had passed the radioactive element through the region of the electric field and magnetic field. You can see here I am making, as we know that now we know that the radioactive elements are not capable to penetrate the thick lead cube. अगर कोई लेड का कंटेनर है तो उसको ये पेनिट्रेट नहीं कर पाते हैं. सो हियर दिस इज ए कंटेनर ऑफ द लेड. ये लेड की एक केविटी है. This is made up of lead. What is the symbol of lead? Lead is Pb. It's clear. Now here this is a cavity, and in this cavity some radioactive element has been placed. This is some radioactive substance. It's clear. This is a radioactive substance. Now here two plates have been arranged. One is the positive plate and another is the negative plate. Here this plate is positively charged and this plate is negatively charged. And over this he had placed the photographic plate. इसके ऊपर क्या है? एक फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट रखी. इस तरीके से ये सेटअप था. Now you can see here I am trying to show you. Suppose it is just like this. It's clear. This is a box. Inside this, some radioactive element was kept, and here two metallic plates have been arranged. Two metallic plates have been arranged. This plate was connected to the negative terminal of battery, and this plate was connected to the positive terminal of battery. And over this here, a photographic film has been placed. यहाँ पर ऐसे एक photographic plate ऐसे रखी हुई. So he found, and this whole system was enclosed in a vacuum chamber. So he found, after giving some exposure up to some time, he found that after developing, he found that there were 3 spots over the photographic plate. जब उन्होंने क्या है, इन एक्सपोजर्स को फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट पर पड़ने दिया कुछ देर तक, and then he developed the photographic plate. So he found that there were 3 spots over the photographic plate. One spot was just above to the mouth of the cavity. One spot was just above to the mouth of cavity. Then there was another spot which was towards the negative plate. It was towards the negative plate here. And there was third spot which was towards the positive plate. So from this he had concluded that there are 3 types of radiations are given out by the radioactive substance. There are 3 types of radiations which are given out by radioactive substance. those which were turning the sparks which was obtained towards the negative plate. So he had concluded that it may be due to some positively charged rays. This experiment was performed by Rutherford in order to study the radiations given out by any radioactive substance. कोई रेडियोएक्टिव सब्सटेंस कितने कितने टाइप के रेडिएशंस इमिट कर रहा है, इसकी स्टडी के लिए रदरफोर्ड ने 1903 में एक एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म किया by setting up the experiment in this way. So he found that there were three spots over the photographic plate. One spot was just above to the mouth of the cavity. There was another spot towards the negative plate, and third spot was towards the positive plate. So he had concluded that the spot which is obtained towards the negative plate, it will be due to some positively charged rays. क्यों? क्योंकि इसकी तरफ पॉजिटिवली चार्ज रेज ही जा सकती है। इस स्पॉट के लिए उन्होंने कहा that it is due to some positively charged rays which were turning towards the negative plate, while the spot which was obtained towards the positive charge plate, for that he told that this is due to the some negatively charged rays. These positively charged and negatively charged rays he named as alpha rays and beta rays and beta rays. While the third spot which was obtained just above to the mouth of the cavity, since it was going undeviated, neither it was deviating towards the negative plate nor it was deviating towards the positive plate. So for that he had told that it is due to some uncharged rays. These are some uncharged rays. These rays uncharged radiation. Charged radiation. Similar results were obtained and he named these as gamma radiations, gamma rays. So similar results were obtained when a magnetic field was applied in the path of these radiations. Same results have been obtained with the magnetic field. In the electric field or a magnetic field, when these radiations have been passed, then it was found that these radiation divides into three parts. जब इन रेडिएशंस को इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड रीजन से या मैग्नेटिक फील्ड रीजन से पास किया गया, तो ये पाया गया that these radiations are dividing into three parts. One which were turning towards the negative plate, other which were turning towards the positive plate, and third which was passing undeviated. So from there, Rutherford had concluded that three types of radiations are emitted out. One due to some positively charged rays, which he named as alpha rays. Other which were due to some negatively charged rays, which he named as beta rays. And third, which were passing undeviated, that was named as gamma rays. It was also found that the beta rays were deviating by greater angle than the alpha rays. Beta rays are deviating by this angle and alpha are deviating less. So from here he had concluded that alpha rays are heavier and beta rays are lighter. Later on it was found that alpha are not the rays. These are the fast moving stream of alpha particles. Alpha are not the rays. These are the fast moving stream of alpha particles, which are positively charged. About beta rays, it was told that it is not the beta rays. It is the fast moving stream of negatively charged particle, which was named as beta particle. After the further study, it was found that alpha rays are the fast moving stream of positively charged particles, which are called alpha particles, and beta rays are the fast moving stream of negatively charged particles, which is beta particle. while gamma rays are the electromagnetic radiations. Gamma rays are electromagnetic radiations. And about electromagnetic radiations, we know that neither they carry any charge nor they carry any mass. They are uncharged rays moving with the speed of light. So from this experiment, it was concluded that three types of radiations are emitted out by every radioactive element. By every radioactive atom, three types of radiations are emitted out. One is the fast moving stream of positively charged particles called alpha particle. Other is the fast moving stream of negatively charged particle called beta particles. And third is the electromagnetic radiations, gamma radiations, which are passing undeviated. It was also discovered that if we take a sample of uranium, suppose this is some sample of uranium and these are uranium atoms. Here I am showing the uranium atom. This is one uranium atom, this is other, third. There will be number of uranium atom in this sample. So by any technique, we cannot know that which atom is emitting the radiation. ये पता करना possible नहीं है that which atom is emitting out the radiations, because this emission is spontaneous. For example, this atom can emit the radiations just now, and this is emitting the radiations after 10 minutes. एक इस वाले एटम ने इमिशन तुरंत स्टार्ट हो गया, दूसरे में इमिशन क्या हुआ, कुछ देर बाद बिगिन हुआ. So they will be in the different stages of their decay. They will be in the different stages of their decay. Therefore, by any technique, we cannot know that which atom will start emitting at any moment, because this phenomena is spontaneous. It is random. Therefore, we cannot know by any technique that which atom is emitting the radiations at any moment. And it is not necessary that all the atoms of any radioactive substance will start emitting out the radiations at the same moment. सभी एटम्स एक साथ इमिशन नहीं बिगिन करेंगे. एक में इमिशन अभी शुरू हुआ है, दूसरे में इमिशन क्या होगा, बाद में शुरू होगा. It's clear. Now see here, now we will see the properties of these radiations which are emitted out by the radioactive substance. So first of all, we will see alpha particles. So as we know that alpha particles, it is the fast moving stream of positively charged particles. If we see the composition of this, it is consisting two protons and two neutrons. Means it is just like the helium nucleus. If you see helium is having two protons, 4 minus 2, two neutrons, and there are two electrons. Means if we draw the structure of helium atom, so you can see here in the helium atom there are two protons and two neutrons within the nucleus, while outside the nucleus two electrons are moving in the K cell. If you remove these two electrons, अगर हम इन दोनों इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को निकाल दें, then what will happen? अगर helium atom, this is the helium atom. If helium atom loses these two electrons, what will happen? On losing these two electrons, it will be changed into helium nucleus. Only helium nucleus will be left. It's clear. Helium nucleus will be left, and this helium nucleus is alpha particle. Means what is helium nucleus? It is alpha particle. Means we can say that alpha particle is doubly ionized helium atom. It is the doubly ionized helium atom. जब कोई भी एटम इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करता है तो हम कह देते हैं कि वो आयोनाइज हो गया। इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज करने का मतलब क्या हो गया, वो आयन में कन्वर्ट हो गया। बिकॉज एटम इज इलेक्ट्रिकली न्यूट्रल, when it will lose the electron it will become positively charged. It's clear? It will become positively charged. This process we say as the ionization. It's clear? So we can say that helium atom is doubly ionized helium atom. What is the meaning of doubly ionized helium atom? Because इससे दो इलेक्ट्रॉन निकले हैं। Suppose only one electron it emits, then what will happen? It will be singly ionized. In that case, it will be singly ionized. So see here, now we can say that what is the composition of helium atom? It is consisting, it is an assembly, it is a cluster consisting two protons and two neutrons. As we know that proton is positively charged, neutron is neutral. Then what will be the charge on alpha particle? So see here, प्रोटॉन का चार्ज उतना ही होता है जितना इलेक्ट्रॉन का, मैग्नीट्यूड सेम होता है। सो व्हाट विल बी द पॉजिटिव चार्ज ऑन द प्रोटॉन? It will be 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the positive charge on the alpha particle. It's clear? Now what will be the mass of alpha particle? So as we know that masses of protons and neutrons, these are nearly equal. न्यूट्रॉन का मास प्रोटॉन के मास से स्लाइटली मोर होता है। So we say that it is nearly equal 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. It's clear? So we can say that since it is consisting two protons and two neutrons, therefore its mass is 4 times of the mass of the proton. Its mass is 4 times of the mass of the proton. If you calculate it, it will come out 6.68 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. This is the mass of alpha particle. It's clear? Means charge is this much. This is the charge on the alpha particle, and this is the mass of the alpha particle. Now see here, if we see the speed of alpha particles, speed of alpha particle, it is 10 to the power 7 meter per second. It is nearly 10 to the power 7 meter per second. It is not very speed of beta particle, speed of gamma radiations. It is more than this, approximately 10 or 100 times more than this. Its speed is 10 to the power 6 meter per second or to 10 to the power 7 meter per second. While the speed of beta particles, gamma radiations is more than this. It's clear? Now there is one very important property, ionizing property of alpha particles. This is very, very important property. Ionizing property and penetrating property. Now see here, suppose this is a chamber which is containing some gas. Some gas is filled in this container. And when the stream of alpha particle is passed through it, then what will happen? Because of their low speed, इनकी स्पीड क्या होती है 10 to the power 7 meter per second. जैसे अगर हम देखें 10 to the power 7 meter per second, it is not a low speed. This speed is not low speed. It's clear? But as compared to beta, as compared to gamma, it is low. It's clear? So when alpha particles are passed through a gaseous chamber, what will happen? They will change, they will split the molecules of gas into ions. Molecules of gas को positive and negative ions में split कर देंगे. Means we can say that alpha particle ionizes the gas through which it is passed. It ionizes the gas through which it is passed. And its ionizing capacity, it is 100 times more than beta particles and 10,000 times more than gamma radiation. Means if you arrange the ionizing capacity of alpha particle, beta particle and gamma radiations in the decreasing order, then alpha particle are most ionizing, beta are 100 times lesser ionizing than alpha, and gamma are 100 times lesser ionizing than beta. Means you can see here, if you give some value, इसकी आयोनाइजिंग कैपेसिटी अगर 1 है तो इसकी कितनी है 100 है, और इसकी कितनी होगी, इट विल बी 10,000. इट्स क्लियर? So it means alpha particle are the most ionizing because of their least speed. Because of their least speed, they are 100 times more ionizing than beta and 10,000 times more ionizing than gamma radius. So this is a very important property. Many times it has been asked that arrange alpha, beta and gamma radiations in the increasing or in the decreasing order of their ionizing capacity. Then there is a penetrating capacity. Penetrating capacity. So see here, as already I have told that the speed of alpha particle is smaller than beta and gamma. Therefore, their penetrating capacity is least, and they can travel only 3 to 8 centimeter in air. मतलब अगर क्या है, एयर से अल्फा पार्टिकल पास हो रहे हो, then what will happen? They will lose their energy after traveling this distance. इतनी डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल करने के बाद वो अपनी एनर्जी को लूज कर देंगे, वो क्या है, रेस्ट पर आ जाएंगे. मींस देयर पेनिट्रेटिंग कैपेसिटी इन एयर इज ओनली 3 to 8 सेंटीमीटर. इसके इट कैन बी इजीली स्टॉप्ड बाय ए थिन कार्ड सी. अगर हम एक पतली दफ्ती ले लें, उससे हम क्या कर सकते हैं, अल्फा पार्टिकल्स को रोक सकते हैं. इट कैन बी स्टॉप्ड बाय ए थिन कार्ड सी. Now see here, since their speed is least, therefore their penetrating capacity is 100 times lesser than beta and 10,000 times lesser than gamma. Beta से 100 times lesser है and gamma से 10,000 times lesser. Means if you arrange alpha, beta and gamma in the increasing order of penetrating capacity. So alpha less than beta less than gamma. Gamma are most penetrating, alpha are least penetrating. If you give some arbitrary values, so if you have given 1, then its penetrating capacity is 100 times of alpha, और इसकी क्या हो जाएगी, 10,000 times of alpha or 100 times of beta. It is clear? Then there are some other properties which are common in between alpha and beta. Since alpha particles are positively charged, therefore they deflect when they pass through the region of electric and magnetic field. Deflect when pass through region of electric and magnetic field. Region of electric field and magnetic field. And it has been found that alpha is deviating lesser as compared to beta. These are some common properties in between alpha and beta. Then alpha particle produces fluorescence when they strike, when they will collide with a screen coated with zinc sulfide or barium platinocyanide. Barium platinocyanide. Now see here, suppose this is a screen and over this screen you do the coating of zinc sulfide or do the coating of barium platinocyanide. मतलब जिंक सल्फाइड का लेप इस पर क्या है, हम लगा दें, बेरियम प्लेटिनोसाइनाइड का पेंट इसके ऊपर कर दें. जब अल्फा पार्टिकल इस पर पड़ेंगे, क्या करेंगे, वो एक स्पेशल टाइप की ग्लो प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, which we call as the fluorescence. So alpha particle causes fluorescence on striking with the material coated with zinc sulfide or barium platinocyanide. It's clear? Then one more, alpha particle have large kinetic energy and momentum with them. Why they are having large kinetic energy and momentum? Because of their more mass. Their mass is 6.68 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Because of being massive, they are having large kinetic energy as well as momentum. They produce biological damage. They destroy the living cells within the bodies, and by destroying the living cells, they produce biological damage. But biological damage produced by alpha particle is least. Most is produced by gamma rays. Then alpha particles through get scattered when they pass through the thin gold foil. When they strike with the thin gold foil, you must have studied about the alpha particle scattering experiment. We do the bombarding of alpha particle over the gold foil to know about the structure of atom. एटम की स्ट्रक्चर को पता करने के लिए अल्फा पार्टिकल की बम्बार्डिंग की जाती है ओवर द गोल्ड फॉइल. So during this bombarding, they get scattered. So in this lecture, we will do up to here. Tomorrow, we will once again connect.